Is investing in the house market in the UK in 2024 still considered the best investment? According to a Home Alliance website or article, it talks about the current average home price in the UK is around 260,000. It's also in speculation that it would drop about 1 to 3%. For many years, the investing in a house is always considered as a solid investment and also the cornerstones of financial stabilities. And pretty much that if you own a few houses in the UK, you pretty much have certain wealth that's, for some people, even considered as a generation wealth as well, right? So today in this video, we're going to talk about some of the factors that are influencing the property market, values and all that, and also comparing with some of the investment options that we have currently. There are so many different options nowadays. You've got stocks and bonds and everything, we're going to compare all of that. And then finally, this is the video that hopefully you get some insight out of this video, and then that will kind of help you to make the right decision whether you want to invest in a house or you want to keep the money to something else as well. So the reason I'm doing this video as well is because I'm due to buy another house by the end of the year, and obviously this also depends on how many money I have and the return of investment. So first, let's dive into the current state of the UK property market, right? So as of 2024, I think the market experienced a mixed growth and destabilization as well. And according to the article, Aspen Wolf has been talking about that the house prices are predicted to fall about 5%. That's a lot, right? And then bring the average home to around £266,000, which is about the same thing what I talk about by the Home Alliance, and this is due to happen by end of the year as well. And this decline is usually influenced by, you already knew that what happened in the UK, the rise of the interest rate and the economic uncertainties, and most importantly, the general election is coming. And if you don't know about it, it's already announced. It's going to come on 4th of July, and I'm pretty sure there'll be certain different things. I don't think that they'll lower the interest because I think Tories want to win the election, I guess. So hopefully that will beneficial as well, because I'm going to remortgage my house by the September, I think. So now let's talk about the factors that are actually affecting the property market. The first one is definitely the economic stabilities, and it's always play a crucial role in anything that's rise and down, especially comes to property. And we had the post-Brexit adjustments, and we have the global events like pandemic, and all of that actually comes into it. And we're currently still in calibrations of the property market, which is quite important to know about it. Although the economy is kind of gradually returned, but there are still uncertainties around there whether the house pricing will continue to rise or actually will stay stagnant for the next 5 or maybe 6 years. We don't know. And also kind of related to what we're doing every day as well is the supply and demand, right? And there's always a significant demand for housing, especially in the urban areas. And because of this kind of supply issues is basically driving the prices going up as well. Especially if you had some experience in construction side, you know that you're always facing delays financially, and people need to get the mortgage to buy that. All come, it's like a chain, it all comes together. Especially myself, at the moment I'm doing a renovations, and I'm doing £100,000 renovations at the moment, and frankly there's a lot of delays, there's a lot of uncertainty, I would say, and it wasn't a nice, I would say it's okay outcome, but it wasn't a kind of smooth experience for me. And I can imagine that for a larger scale of the developer that are doing the kind of property development, they actually will have lots of delays and stress and all that. That will especially affecting the supply and demand issues that continue to drive the price up. And again, a new build in the UK right now is so expensive. I live in Milton Keynes, and the current new prices is around, even for a detached, no, semi-D, even about £450,000, the last one I just saw, which is ridiculously expensive, right? And now comparing to other investments, we don't actually have a lot of options, right? It's going to be stocks, and then you have your bonds, and then finally cryptocurrencies. And let's talk about 3 of them. For me, I do buy stocks, obviously, because I have my pensions, and I have my ISA, and I have my leases. So all of that has been invested in the stock market. I have about £150,000 kind of that cash in the stock markets, and all of that invested in American markets. And obviously, who don't want to invest in American markets? And a majority invested that in S&P 500. I'm not like a kind of avid traders, which I pick and pick my best stocks and then get the best gain and all that. I just invest in S&P 500. It averagely give me about 6-7% for the past years, and then gradually increase that capital amount involved. So I think it's okay overall. I think if you don't want to kind of manage your money and you just want to let the money roll, especially those money are in your pension, I think it's not too bad to invest in a stock like or ETF like S&P 500. And at the end of the day, if you invest that in the property, then you will have to have management tenants, which I'll talk about shortly. Now, the next one is bonds, right? I personally don't have much experience in bonds, but I do feel like bonds risk is significantly lower, and for those people who wanted the stabilities, they can invest in bonds and bonds. I think that will also one of the options if you just want to have a peace of mind, really. The last one is cryptocurrencies. I think personally I have about few ETH, Ethereum. And I think as long as you know about cryptocurrency based on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all that. And I think recent months it has a bullish kind of for Bitcoin, Ethereum. The coins are actually getting higher and higher. I think Bitcoin just reached $70,000. I think all-time high. I think is that right? And then Ethereum as well. It's recently just reached $4,000 as well, which is a significant amount of money. I personally own some of them, and I'm currently stacking them in Trust wallets, which give me about. Currently, I'm stacking them in the Trust wallet, which is giving me about 3.39% APR, and that's not too bad because every 4 days I will get my interest and all that. So hopefully by stacking that, and gradually I will reach 50 Ethereum, and then I'll sell it off, and then I'll retire. So that's one of the ideas that I'm currently talking about now. And lastly, comparing to all of the three kind of typical investment options, you've got rental properties, and for me that is one of the things I always want to get into it. It's not that I want to be hogging all of the portfolios, houses, like some of them own 20 houses and all that. Personally, I just wanted to have a few houses and then a few houses to rent it out to diversify my portfolio and also act as a backup to my financial, because I work in IT changes all the time. I just felt like I need to have a safety net that can protect me in case I lose my job. I still have income from property, income from my family, of course, and then go on with the life as well. Now, the next one is about the pros and cons of the property investments. And the first one, we talk about pros, obviously, right? Want to know about the advantages. The pro is always about the property is intangible assets, yeah? And you can touch it, you can see it, you can smell it, and that's not going to go away. That's a physical assets that you can do with it. And then also, it's been proven it's appreciation of your capital, and it's just increased the value over time. And lastly, again, you can have your rental income, and you always have that rental incomes where if your house is on demand, rent in the right locations, and yeah, you can generate money based on that. So that's what sort of creative ideas that being sold to a lot of people, that why would people want to get into property investment. And then the cons. The cons is always money. If you want to get into property, you have to have a significant amount of money. I think if you want to buy 200,000 house or home, you will need at least 10% just for the down payment, and then you need another few £1,000 for lawyers and all that fees. You need to get your house properly surveyed, you get that reports, and you buy the furniture. That's a lot of money. But again, because it's a lot of money to get in, that's why the market still kind of remains for some exclusive. Is that right? But say not really exclusive, but only allow some of the level of people to get into it, and then once you get into it, you're able to utilize or leverage that amount of money to buy a second house, which is what I'm doing right now. So that's the conclusion, really. So is buying a house still a good investment in the UK, especially in this year 2024? I think it all depends on your financial goals, your risk tolerance, how much risk you want to take, and then your investment strategy as well, which is most important, right? So what you want to do with the money. Do you want to leverage it? Do you want to renovate it and then sell it off with a kind of fully finished house? There's a lot of things you can do. And again, property is always a great addition to diversify your portfolio. At the moment, I only have one income or few incomes, for my actual main job and then some of the side hustles and all that, but I still want to diversify my kind of income. And one of the kind of hands-off solution I've thought of is property. So that's why I want to get into the BTL, buying my first one and then sharing my experience that how many I actually gain out of it. And I think at the end of the day, it's also crucial to do your own research. Yeah, and because of that, I think a lot of TikTok videos, including I'm doing a YouTube video right now about properties. I think a lot of people in the TikTok, even in YouTube, are saying, okay, now you do buy a house with 10% down payments and then leverage that and then buy more houses. I think for some reason that works if the interest rate is quite low, but now it's so high that it's very ridiculous to do that, and then you will get yourself into high debt, and sometimes you can't get your cash flow working properly and you get yourself into the mess. But this is my experience. I just felt like there's too many influencers, YouTubers online that talks about it quite a lot of freaking times. But that's my opinions, and let me know what's your thoughts about property investments, right? I would actually really want to know about it. Leave your comments down below. I'll be happy to reply and share some experience. So far being a landlord after 4 years. And yeah, if you like my video, subscribe and like, and then I will see you in my next video. Peace.